It's no understatement to say that this season has some of the best seasonal lineup in a while, with shows like Spy X Family, Love is War, and surprisingly, Paripikome. After being able to listen and watch every opening at least 6 times this season, I have a ranking I'm confident in for my personal 5 best openings this season. This is my opinion, and I can give 5, no, even 54 less shits about why you think I should change the order of anything. Quick disclaimer, I am not a musical genius. I took no classes in choreography. These opinions are based on my taste in J-rock, J-pop, combined with what I find visually appealing. Before I start, I'll give you an outline for my way of thinking. If the OP is a banger, and it's something I would play with the aux cord in hand, I'm just gonna rate it higher. If it's cheeky, funny, it's not gonna be rated as highly because the song wouldn't be played a lot, you get me? It would just be like a niche, I would say. Does the opening have effort put into it? Does the studio animate special scenes for it with the story in mind? Or is it just screenshots with music behind it? If the anime OP has a banger but the visuals are lackluster, it's kinda disappointing. So I wouldn't rank it as highly. With this in mind, let's start with number 5. Starting off, this deadass was the most competitive spot. There are a couple songs I could replace this with and they would all deserve it. After about 20 minutes, I felt confident in choosing I'm Quitting Heroing OP as the number 5. The vocals in the beginning are kinda I thought so, until the second half of her raising her voice slightly. The art of it is actually icy. We get the view of the hero with people walking away from him. He's lost because people tossed him away and he's trying to figure out what to do with his life. The drama vibes and the guitar that plays in when he's reaching toward the sky, representing a new hope that he's trying to get, is actually OD. Then we get the vocals again and they fit so much better in the middle portion than in the beginning. We get glimpses of everyone part of the cast while this is playing. Like, come on, the slow motion transformations to Fenrir with the pacing of the song works so well. It also does well with the assassin and then the dragon guy. The song gets off with the chorus and the MC running away, and yes, it fits well. Very well indeed. We get the castle, which actually looks original, is beat up like how it's supposed to. It's just not the giant Konosuba circle city that we've seen forever in every single seasonal anime. Well done by the studio, well done. One of my favorite girls this season, Echidna, looking back at him with the song reaching his ending. Man, this all looks amazing for such a generic anime. I think it's deserving of the first spot for sure. Now with number 4, we have a couple of cuckoos. I like my slow pacing casual songs too, and this one fits the bill. Before we start, we see this opening is very pretty, very pretty. The characters look nice, the song fits well, and look how smooth everything looks. The transitions, man, they did not hesitate with this opening. Every character is one by one introduced with the color that represents them. As soon as our 2 MCs see each other, the story begins, so fuck it, let's throw all the paint together. This TikTok segment is actually pretty sweet. I think it's adorable, the animations are kinda hype, in which each of them having some frames to show off who they really are. And you already know, when it's not broke, don't try to fix it. So we get even more frames shortly after of them being themselves, having their own little pose, looking toward the camera. Lastly, we see the MC surrounded by his friends, and it ends with him being with the main girl, and the look on his face and the way she looks at the camera, you can just tell there's chemistry there. Overall, it's sweet, simple, nothing special about it. It does what it wants to do well enough, with a singer who fits perfectly with the animation style. Deserving of the number 4 spot. Number 3, we have Papiri Kome. We knew this was going to be the top 5, come on. Everyone is even arguing that it's the best opening this season, which I disagree personally, due to it not being completely my vibe. The opening starts with Mr. Kongming staring at you and his fit changing constantly. The man looks so well animated with all his drip, to be honest, I can't even hate. After that we get the Chitty Ban Ban, which I will say is the thing that will for sure be stuck in your head more than any other song of any part, anything this season. I can't even lie, it is gonna be stuck in your head, and you will think about this season just by hearing that part. But that's also its weakness. The chorus, it isn't anything that I would play with the aux, you know, it's too goofy. I'm gonna look like a cornball jamming out to this, to be honest. It's a good song, don't get me wrong, but remember, I personally rate openings to how easily they won't get annoying, or how I can play them after the anime is completely done. Just like in a car ride or something, you know? Yes, number 2 might piss you off because it's hella J-pop Jungle Book vibes after saying this with the godforsaken best opening of the season to most people's respectful opinion. But you know what? Fuck you. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. This is my list. Then we see him getting groovy with Eiko. And these shots are hella crunk. The old school visuals combined with the city pop vibes complement it easily. Back then this would be a solid 2 without a doubt. But this reminds me of the song and the case of Cherry Bonbon, and having something they repeat a lot, it just isn't something I like now that I've gotten older. But don't even get me started with the ED of this anime. Man, now that's a fucking banger. Number 2, Ganjo no Fanfare. Look, I'm not even into horseback riding as a sport, or even gave 5 shits about the Mozume horse anime girl series or mobile game, but holy shit, they decided to make this a great opening for no fucking reason. From the first 10 seconds, I can already tell this song is J-pop as fuck, and that sounds good to me. The horses silhouettes with the anime name being so smooth and simple is actually fitting for the song and the pacing of how it goes into. I personally like simpler aesthetics for openings if they can take advantage of it throughout its entire opening. We see them taking care of the horses, and right away the MC looks very Amagami SS vibes. I gotta give it a little bit of bonus points because of that. Then we get to see the other racers with silhouettes and particle effects. Just simple and effective. We can understand each of their characters' archetype with a couple of seconds that they get throughout the opening, which is neat. It does it very, very well. The silhouettes fits well with the pacing of the song, and it just don't seem randomly placed at all, you know? We get some CG for a bit, and a lot of people hate CG. They're always CG this, CG shit, you already know. But the few frames that this anime gives it, mixed in with 2D animation, it doesn't even look bad. And the song's beat drop, oh man, it complements the art style so nicely. Like, why did they have to fucking pop off for this horse anime? Like, goddamn. Nicely done, and deserves the number 2 spot for sure. Number 1, Tomodachi Game. Yes, I know. How do I have this shit over everything else? You know what? This fucking song is a banger. Holy shit, this is so catchy. And the instruments in the background pleases the ear I have for pianos. Just listen to the various changes throughout the fucking song. Like, oh my god, this is OD. First 35 seconds are great. It already could be considered better than every single opening that we've seen that's not on the list in the season. It's the first 35, bruh. Like, what the fuck? The money falling, the hands forming a friendship sign like the Yu-Gi-Oh card, you know? It's just a perfect introduction to how they were before the Tomodachi games. After that, the animation just looks nice. Like, look at all the faces. Smooth transitions to everyone being... The smooth transition into all the characters behind the fence with the various masks and faces that they have. And who do we not see? The MC who's behind the fence. The music picks up, and the la-la part with the feathers falling down on the MC. Man, that shit looks so cool. I love everything this opening does. Then we get a frame of their true natures and something that represents it in the next couple of frames. Dude, this is so fucking OD. But who are we to judge? Nobody, because the only person who can judge them is of course Yuichi, who gets a spotlight and a sinister grin to end this amazing opening. My personal favorite of the season by a mile, hands down. Yup, that's it. Personally, the Spy Family wasn't even in my top 10. It just wasn't good enough. The group that sings it, I've followed them for like 3 years. They have some really good songs, but over time, I've just stopped liking most of their style of music, to be honest. The dancing anime just missed out barely. And it's such a banger. And it's a nice opening too. It's just, you already know. Fuck. It was number 5 spot was really contested. But either way, here's a list of all the openings. I gave a number next to them, just in case you're curious for what I rated some of them. The EDs should be next, and we have some good ones as well. So it should be just as tough as this one to make. Do you agree with the 5 I picked? Were you surprised that some were left out or some were actually included? Let me know your top 5 of the season below. I'm interested in how our lists differ. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Either way, I'll hit you up tomorrow.